Welcome to the Business Boys Talkin Business Virtual Power Lunch. Please welcome your hosts, Tyler Price and Brian Magleby.
Aloha! Oh, wait a minute. We're back. We're on.
I'm a little jealous of
Yes.
that one.
Well, I've got a new co-host for the week. I was gone last week. Dave Nowak came and co-hosted last week. I joined at the end of the show, sitting on the beach, literally, in Maui, and had a great show last week. And then Tyler's gone this week, so a great week to have you back, because you're right. You're actually in charge of this, kind of over this topic we're going to have today.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it and get done.
That's right. So an all-expense paid trip to to Hawaii. So yes, I had a great 10 days off. Spent a few time with my wife in Maui. It was a great time. I had to sport the old Hawaiian shirt today, just in celebration of being in Hawaii. So
how did it feel to get wound down?
Oh man, it was a rough red-eye flight Sunday night. I'll tell you, we sat and watched the most beautiful sunset in Maui that night, Sunday night, enjoying some chips and guacamole at Fred's in Kihei, and wow. And then had the dose of reality driving to the airport and then getting off in the airplane in Salt Lake. I'll tell you, 80 degrees difference in change in temperatures, all with a 5.5-hour flight. So
Are those little amazing things you take for granted to go there?
Yep, it is. So, but loved getting away, recharging the old batteries is what I say. Did 10 days of recharging some batteries, so it was great. So appreciate you being here as a co-host. Let's talk about this class that we have starting next week. So it starts on the 15th. Elevate Business.
One of my favorites.
It is.
A lot of times companies just get tuned up.
If you don't want to be part of the 5% of businesses that make it in after 5 years, there's only 5% of those businesses. If you want your chance of success to be higher, you've got to come to this class. Elevate your business. We make sure that you have a rock solid mission statement, vision statement, unique selling proposition, that you have an elevator pitch that when you go to chamber meetings or any kind of networking meetings, that you can properly present your business. We go through all of the basics it takes to make your business successful so that you can be part of that successful 5%.
Yeah. And one thing that I highly recommend is a lot of people get position. I don't have time. Class help them to understand, to see more, so you have a common language, a lens to work together from.
It does. Yep, it's a great course. It starts next Tuesday. We're going to be teaching this class at the College of Eastern Idaho, right there on the screen. If you would like to get more information on that, put your email in the chat. If you're watching us on YouTube, you can put us on that, or we can get you the direct link to get registered for that class. So it starts next Tuesday. This class is one of our unique ones. They wanted us to teach it from 6 to 7:30. So we're doing it next Tuesday evening, 6 to 7:30, and every Tuesday during for the next 5 weeks. So it starts this next Tuesday on the 15th and goes through March 15th. So if you have any questions, we'd love to get you. The class is only $199. In fact, at the end of today's show, we're going to be giving away a gift certificate for that class for $50 off that class. So we're going to be giving that away. But you got to watch the show. We're going to be asking a trivia at the end so that you can get that $50 certificate. So
and another thing they get too when they go to the class is a certificate. When you get done with the thing, you can hang up or take into the banker and say, hey, I'm keeping tuned up.
Yep. Little continuing education. So we give that certificate out for all of our classes. So thank you. Look forward to having some of you join us for that class starting next week. Today's show is all about doing business with the government. And I can tell you from many years of history, that not enough businesses take the opportunity to do business with the government.
Amen. One of the biggest mistakes I see in Idaho is most people don't even know how to go about it. They don't even, and when we get into economic challenging times, what a power tool to have in your back pocket to have another marketplace or another angle at it.
It is, and we're going to be talking. We've got Dr. Bam Adil Omatoya. Dr. Bam here. He's a PhD working with the PTAC, Procurement Technical Assistance Center, which helps set businesses up to do business with the government. He's a representative for this side of the state, works with the Small Business Development Center, and we're going to have Dr. Omatoya on. Let's talk about our sponsors here real quickly. We forgot to do that a little earlier. So our sponsors, we couldn't do this show without BBSI. We appreciate them. The SBDC, absolutely crucial, as Tyler, and I'll put words into Tyler's mouth that's not here, that Small Business Development Center is the biggest hidden secret of Idaho, but every business should be taking advantage of the free business consulting offered by the SBDC. The Idaho Innovation Center, we actually have 2 offices open, prime offices. So if your business is looking to need some office space, come and apply to be at the Idaho Innovation Center. Vulpine Marketing keeps us up to date. Absolutely, Ryan does a great job at Vulpine. And New Line Media, where we're recording today, this awesome studio. Absolutely great here at New Line Media. So thank you to our sponsors. We couldn't do the show without them.
Amen.
Let's transition right into we got a 30-second video that talks about what PTAC does. So we're going to do that, and then we'll welcome Dr. Omatoya on here from the PTAC, from the Idaho PTAC.
Interested in doing business with the government? Helping businesses understand and win government contracts is an essential service of the Idaho PTAC network. Our government contracting specialists can help you obtain registrations and certifications, prepare bids, and even match you with contracting opportunities from agencies that buy your goods and services. Want to learn more? Visit us online to get started on your path to success today.
Great. All right, we're back. We're used to longer videos, 30 seconds. Well, that kind of gives you a brief introduction of what the PTAC does. And welcome, Dr. Omatoya. Did I say it right there? Omatoya. Toa. I got to get my Hawaiian accent. Omatoya.
Take the Y out.
Yes, I got to take the Y out. I don't know why I got that. So, well, let's go by Bam today. How about if we go by Bam?
I think that's better.
That's right. Easier for me. So Bam, welcome. Idaho PTAC. Tell us about what PTAC does for businesses throughout the state of Idaho.
Well, PTAC is an organ instituted by the Congress to help Idaho. And the reason being, the United States government spends about $500 billion every year in contracting. And states like ours, or in the flyover state, we get very little. And the Congress wants us to get some. And so PTAC was instituted by the Congress in 1996 exactly to help our own businesses determine what they need to do to win. Because when defense or other agencies were asked, why don't these people get contract? They said, nobody showed up. I hope we can help people show up.
No one showed up to get billions of dollars.
That's right.
So, folks, listen up there. If you're a business, you're missing out on billions of dollars.
And what's interesting, Bam, how much in Idaho are we missing out on? Because you mentioned there's a bunch of contracting that's done in Idaho with the federal government. But one thing that you mention quite frequently is what percentage we're not getting. They're going out of state because nobody's applying.
Well, if there's interest to do government contracting, there is opportunity. Now, I told you the Congress wants us to get it. The agencies in the federal government, there's 1,160 federal agencies that wants to contract with us. The United States government actually spends almost $2 billion out of the state of Idaho, including the INL and including the military services and other services in the state, agriculture, so many agencies. Of this amount that we spend, Idaho probably brings in only about $200 million, or about between $200 and $400 million a year, which is almost nothing. Now, talking about our population percentage in the union, we're 0.66% of this union, United States. But we'll probably make $1 of every $1,000 we can make from the federal government. There's a lot of opportunity we can go for.
So one question, Bam, that I get asked all the time is, what type of contracts can I get? Is it all building contracting, or what types of things can a company do and qualify, or that might be of interest to the government?
It depends on how imaginative you are. The nuclear research facility here, NRF, they need people to clean that facility. The contract to clean that place alone can be as big as in the $1 million. In the record of this state, there's people who've done janitorial work for federal agencies, and they've made, not gonna like it easy, almost $20 million.
$20 million
in the space of about 5
doing some janitorial work.
10 years, cleaning federal agencies. Now, we range from fire services during the summer, from supplying the firemen, from supplying the hoses, cars, moving people, food. We also have janitorial, as I just told you, at the federal park, everywhere. We also have repair services, the fences that we have around the federal facility, the lands. Now, there are people who take care of horses in the federal program, and there are technologies. Now, this is the one that just a little bit disheartens me. In my position, I get calls, people who are interested in working with, say, the INL, from all the way Connecticut, from Maine. They're software engineers. And when they call me in Idaho, I want to do my paperwork. Kind of asking them, what are you doing in Idaho that you're doing this? Well, I have to work with the INL. So there is all that too that we do, high tech. And then there's other areas. A lot of these contracts, as David said, we used to have those contracts here in the state, and now we're beginning to lose them in competitive pricing. And so then we become subcontractors to some of the majors that probably never visited Idaho and who actually wants to get this contract. So
we want that money to stay here in Idaho. That's the biggest thing that we did. I'm going to do a little pivot here. I found this video that your boss, Lori Manning out of Boise, put together, and this is on the IdahoPTAC.org website, IdahoPTAC.org, and she does a great job of summarizing here what people, and then we're going to use some of the topics that are in there to ask you a few more questions on. So let's watch that quick 3-minute video here of Lori Manning talking about what the PTAC does in Idaho.
Hi, my name is Lori Manning, and I am the State Director for the Idaho PTAC. PTAC stands for Procurement Technical Assistance Center. And what does that mean? Well, to procure means to obtain. So you're attempting to obtain a government contract or make the U.S. government your customer. We are affiliated with the Small Business Development Center and Boise State University. We're funded through a grant by the Department of Defense, or DoD, and we are a resource partner for SBA. The DoD awards the majority of dollars for federal procurement, and this is really why they fund PTACs all over America in every state. They want to ensure that small businesses such as yourself have an opportunity to be able to get a piece of the pie in government contracting, and that is a $400 billion industry, with about 23% of that set aside for small businesses. That's $100 billion in that piece of pie. And it's the PTAC's responsibility to help you get a piece of that. So our services are free to Idaho businesses, and we can become a great walk along beside you to help you accomplish your goals. Some of the things that we do are explaining procurement procedures. You know, many people don't understand the FAR, the Federal Acquisitions Regulations. And so we're able to be assistant, if you will, and getting an understanding of what that is. We help you develop bid notification profiles. This allows you to be seen and recognized by contractors. We review your bids and proposals. We send out a daily email with custom bid matches that matches your company and your industry. And this allows you to be able to find the best opportunities to be able to bid on. We assist in your DUNS and SAMs registration, and we host statewide workshops, both in person and through Zoom, to train you to be a great government contractor. We help you create your capability statements and marketing strategies to assist you in getting your business out there and in front of the right folks. You know, those capability statements are like business calling cards, if you will. And it's very important to have one to put into the hands of contractors that are seeking your services. Up and coming new is the new CMMC requirements, which are cybersecurity. Our PTAC is responsible to help you gain the knowledge you need to be able to make that clearance and continue to contract for the DoD. We offer valuable resources for business owners such as yourself, and we're excited to partner with both the SBA and Boise Startup Week to be here to serve you. If you'd like more information about the Idaho PTAC, please contact us through Idaho PTAC, that's PTAC.org. Again, Idaho PTAC, PTAC.org. And thanks again for having us.
What a great summary Lori did there of she did that for a conference that she did, but what a great summary of what the PTAC does for businesses here in Idaho.
Yeah, and one of the key things that I like about the PTAC is most people, they don't even have a clue about government contracting. They don't even think it's possible for them. But one of the key things with government contracting is if you don't know what's out there, if you don't know your opportunities, you don't have any. So what this program does, it helps you to understand what's available that might match up with your company. I mean, what company out there doesn't want more business, doesn't want more stable business? So the thing I like about the PTAC is it doesn't make any difference if it's janitorial, if it's food services, or if you have some kind of maintenance company or manufacturing. There's firefighting, suppression, all kinds of things. If you don't look, the answer is always no.
I got a great story that can add. I was meeting with a company that did tech installation, and they had some contracts that they had been doing out to the site, but they were going through all the areas that they were looking for people and needed to get some supplies with, and it ended up that these guys that were tech installers ended up bidding on supplying toilet paper at the INL, and they got over $1 million contract to provide supplies, mainly janitorial supplies, to the site that was not even part of their business, but yet turned out to be over $1 million of revenue for their company.
And the thing that's amazing about that is the INL and a bunch of the organizations that are using government contracting, they're looking for Idaho businesses. It's easier for them to do business locally than it is for them to go out of state. Yeah. But the out-of-staters are getting.
No one was bidding. No one was doing it. So, even given the suggestions, and so they won $1 million contract on something they didn't even know about. So that's crazy.
And then one that BAM was working on in Pocatello, they got a construction contract. I think it was $10-20 million. Mm-hmm. And that carried them through tough times when we got into the middle of COVID and so forth. I mean, what a great backup to have your eggs all out of one basket kind of a thing.
Yeah, why not look into it? Whether it's in your wheelhouse or not. You're crazy. Now, why did some of these people get? Let me go through. As I was doing some research on this, they have to give out businesses. They have to do 23%. Have to go to small disadvantaged businesses. Wow. 5% go to women-owned businesses. 5% have to go to minority-owned businesses, part of the 8A program. 3% have to go to service-disabled, veteran-owned small business. So if you happen to fall into one of the 3% to prime contacts in the hub zone, but if you happen to fall into being one of these, you could be getting some large contracts with the government just by your status of being in business.
Now, there's one interesting thing that BAM can address here. The problem most people don't know is how to find the opportunities, how to understand, how to connect with them, how to set themselves up.
Where to look for them.
Yeah, where to look for them. And what PTAC is here for is to hold your hand. You don't pay any money. All you do is you meet with PTAC and they walk you through the process. It's like having a non-paid employee helping you find opportunities and set yourself up for success.
For revenue.
Who in the world doesn't want that?
Non-hired employees, yes, free businesses that they can work with you. What are some of the things that you help them with? Lori talked about helping them with the SAM.
So I'll begin with the certification that Brian just talked about. So he's talked about 23% of contracts isolated for small businesses by law, congressional instruction. And of the certifications that Brian just counted, 5% for women at this point. It might go up about 5 or 10% for Title 8A. There's historically underutilized business zones, and then there's service disabled veterans. All those counted together is still less than 25. So the fact you don't have a certification should not discourage you. The first thing you want to have is a capability. So ask yourself, what is your capability? You are going to offer to the government a product or service, or the combination of those two. If you have a product you want to offer, the other thing that's going to be important is pricing. If you're in that industry, you must know price. The government, well, you must hear on TV that the government is wasteful. Don't believe it. The government wants to buy at the lowest price. They are responsible to you. And so the government looks for people who can supply those things at lower pricing. The certifications have value. These are people who have not been represented in some areas of government operation. Like, say, women, we have 52% of the population as women, but there are areas of engagement in business where they have been represented far less than that population. The government wants to encourage that. Well, that doesn't mean that once you're a woman and you walk through the door, you're going to get that contract. You have to have the capability. Now, the government forgives you on price valuation to maybe about 10% of real value. Then it will forgive not the other folks. And so you might have an advantage there. But that said, though, the services we do, and we do in conjunction with the SBDC, which is very powerful, important ally that we have in the state. You need to come in and discuss with people. You can grab any of David. He's the regional director for the Small Business Development Center here, and we work with the SBDC. And Brian is the director of Innovation Center. You can walk in and talk with me or any of them. We work together. Our files cross-file, and we talk together. If we think somebody can handle what you need more, you go to that person, and then we'll regroup later. But the intention is for you to have a confidence about what you can offer. Remember, it's a team Idaho against the whole country. We want to look at it that way. We want to win is what we want to do.
Let's keep those businesses out from Maine or whoever it was calling to get the business here. Let's keep it here in the state of Idaho. Yeah. So businesses need to contact you to be set up to learn what they can provide to the government.
That's correct. What we want to do is encourage. Now, we do other services. We do have conference. One's going to be coming up here in March. This is a good opportunity if you're listening to this. We'll have an annual symposium. COVID took it away for about 2 years. That's 21 and 20. Where we're intent on having the interaction one in this year at the Shoshone Casino and
when's
Hotels.
that?
March 30 and 31.
March 30th and 31. We'll get a flyer. We'll show that in coming up shows. We don't have that today.
Yeah.
But that is a great show. I've been to that, and man, you learn a lot about what it takes to do business with the government. And it's at the Shoshone Bannock down in Fort Hall.
Yeah. And we'll be having contract officers from agencies who might answer your question, see you, you'll see them by face. These are not people you get to see every time, not because they're hibernating. They're just busy, and they do a lot of oversight on contracts.
So we're talking the Forest Service, Department of Defense. I mean, all of the government, anybody that is buying from the government, they're coming to say, bid on getting on doing work with us and doing whether it's a product or a service, they're going to be there to tell what they need.
Yeah, the one thing, Bam, that I think is really important is that's been addressed here is that this is not an event, it's a process. And for people to get into government contracting, they have to understand the pathway.
Yeah.
And it's a bit of work on the front end, but I've seen companies that ended up getting government contracts, and the government looks for what the lowest price is, but they also look for companies they can trust and they can build a rapport with, and they know they have confidence in their abilities. And I've seen companies where they'll lean that direction because they've got to get the job done. They can't make mistakes, and that's why it's so critical that they work with PTAC and with the SBDC and different organizations to help them to strategize and plot a pathway forward.
Yeah, if you want to try and do this on your own, you're probably going to struggle. But if you take on BAM, he'll simplify the process out and tell you what you can and can't do. But all I can tell you is that you're missing out on some serious dollars that you could have in your business's pocket if you just learn about what is available out there.
Out of the $2 billion, Bam, what number do you think goes out of state? Is it like 1 billion point?
It's about 1.6 billion.
Of that $2 billion.
So $1.6 billion of government contracting goes to out-of-state contractors because they can't find people in Idaho. So we're only getting 20% of.
Well,
Wake up, Idaho businesses!
well, there's
Amen.
part of that maybe we can't easily touch, like the INL, the nuclear reactors, and the defense program. You have to have some, certification to be able to get into some of those. But we can get them in Idaho. But we have to just be hungry enough to want to go, and just knowing that this is available, and then we have to have a cosmopolitan mindset. Because if other people can come from other states to grab from us, why can't we go to Wyoming? Why can't we go to Oregon? Can we go to Utah and grab? Yeah. And the last time we had a conference here in St. Shoshone, and we included people from Salt Lake City. You could just see the aggression. They were so aggressive because they've seen the value. Somebody was doing fencing around the airport in Salt Lake City. Made $7 million a year for the last 5 years. That's a lot of money, just fencing. So when those people see Idaho Falls is trying to improve the airport, they're not going to wait for us to want to show up. They're showing up in aggressive
They're coming in here to get our dollars.
Exactly. So we want to organize ourselves to win. We want to represent ourselves to the government that we mean business. And this is where working with the SBDC, like David said, is a process. But if you look at what it does bring in, it's worth the process. Peter, I think, brought in over the last 4 years or 3.5 years that I have been with the association, close to $1 billion to this state. And that's just money that can double if we work hard at it. Who says we don't need the money in Idaho? We're getting a lot of aggressive moving into this state. We should use all that money.
Why are we letting other people take the money that is rightfully due to people that businesses that can have them here in Idaho? So
yeah, it's amazing. When I was up in Washington State 30 years ago, I ended up getting a government contract up there at an Air Force base, McCord Air Force Base. It was stunning because over and above our normal business, we had this massive contract. What confidence! And when you're hitting the basic profit levels, you're getting to the break-even point and so forth, and you get a contract like that, and it pushes you way over the top. I can't
even if you talked about the government that they want the lowest, want the lowest price, but still extra money. And this guy, all he had to do was make arrangements for a truck to deliver that load of toilet paper. It was so easy. It was easy to do.
So Brian is saying something that let me decode in some part for you, which is this. And I think we've been saying one thing is to know the government wants to offer it. So it's like two people communicating. You can say everything you want, but if I was speaking a different language, it doesn't mean anything to you. The government speaks its own language. She holds the check. We have to speak the government's language. That means we have to find out what the government wants. We have to make our capability adapt to what the government wants. We have to organize ourselves financially to be able to supply to the government's need at the time the government wants it. And then the government will reward us with reliability, with you get confidence to go to the bank and take a loan so you can do that business and make your profit, and then you can keep coming back. If the government recognizes that you're a reliable partner, then they will rely on you, and you can make it out of that way. But we will have to get into this game.
Yeah, you just got to learn how to do it, and that's what the PTAC is all about, is helping you learn how you can get access to those dollars. So highly encourage you. At the end of the show, we're going to put up Dr. Omatoya.
So what?
Omatoya.
So-
Omatoya.
Okay, leave Brian alone.
I'll get right one of these days. So we're going to put his card up, and you can get with BAM. We'll just simplify it with BAM, and you can learn how to do this. And he can get you set up to be at that conference at the end of March, and do that. Is there anything else that you would like businesses in Idaho to know about what PTAC does?
Well, you said everything. That conference in March, we really like people to be there because it's for all, and it's in our region. We hold it 3 times. We hold it in 3 locations around the state. That is in the northern Idaho, in Boise, and the eastern Idaho. So I think COVID took away the one for Boise and the northern Idaho. The last time we held it was in Shoshone, so we're holding it again now.
Yeah,
so I'm so happy about that.
And one of the big things that I like about the events there is when people come to them, they get a chance to rub shoulders with the different agencies, with representatives. You get to meet people. You get to understand what they're looking for, and then you can figure out, hey, how do I posture my company? But the big thing, so that I can become successful, the big thing that I think on the front end is just understand what the agencies are looking for. Because if you help them get what they want, you'll end up getting what you want. And if you can establish relationships, oh my gosh, what a powerful blessing that is, looking forward for any company. And getting referrals, and what a feather to put in your cap when you're doing your marketing for the other part of your business.
I think in addition to that, so we've talked procurement. One of the things that we want to encourage in the state of Idaho, this is a multi-agency effort. The PTAC program also takes care of the federal research program outside of the university and industry in what they call the Small Business Innovation Research.
SBIR.
So, the responsibility to promote that in our state has been placed on PTAC in some form, but we know it's pretty heavy. So we work along with the SBDC, Regional Economic Development, but we're really promoting this in the state. So whichever aspect of all this you fall into, research, procurement, the federal dollar is there, and we have a lot of ground to cover. Please reach
millions of dollars there as well. So and BAM can help you with those small business innovation research grants. The READY program here very involved with that throughout Eastern Idaho, and absolutely, if you're missing out, let me just I found this article that gave 4 tips, and we're gonna I've got 2 parts of the training, but I just wanted to talk on this, and then we'll end with your quote. It said 4 tips for pursuing government contracts for small businesses, and it says start small. That's a great thing. It doesn't matter how big of a company you are. Start small. Establish a business network. That's what learning what to do business with the government. Continue growing, and then is pursuing government contracting for your business. Anyway, a couple great tips there. Now, I want to end with this this quote here, and then we're going to get into some training here. This is a site that you will find that is on the PTAC's website. So let me just read this, and then I'll have you comment on it. Responding to federal and state solicitations can be a daunting task. Idaho small businesses can be successful in the federal marketplace with the help and preparation on their part. Last year, PTAC clients were successful in winning 843 awards for a total value of more than $254 million. And that is a great step, but there's still a lot to be had. Is that right?
Yeah, there's opportunity, and we would really like to see that number go up in Idaho. The only reason it's not going up is because we're not showing up. If we do dare to show up, I think we have the same capacity to compete in the United States as any other state, and the country's waiting for us. The Defense Department holds about 60% of the national budget, and they have been looking to states like ours. What's wrong? When they take one of their submarines billed as $13 billion, one of their aircrafts built at about what, $40 million. They want people in welding, electricians, I mean, all the trade schools we have. And so there are opportunities for even our colleges to partner with defense to increase, enhance, and get opportunity. When I say we should go cosmopolitan, it didn't mean that we should uproot and transplant into Virginia, Norfolk, or Suffolk, the naval centers there. We can travel there and do some work. We can get contracts from Idaho and get some money to come back here. There's just so much opportunity if we can dare to try.
Yeah, and one comment and recommendation I have is if you don't know your options, you don't have any. And so my recommendation right out of the gate is contact PTAC to even do an evaluation. Have them take a look at what you're doing and see if there's a match and a pathway forward. If you don't explore, the answer is always no. You'll never get the opportunity. But what a simple thing to do.
Yeah, we need to get more businesses that want to do business. And you know, it's not only available here in Idaho, but learn how to do it so you can go and do it in other states instead of other states coming to Idaho.
That's right.
We're tired of that, aren't we?
Yeah, let's go to Montana.
Yeah.
Sorry, Montana.
So good. Well, thank you, Bam. I'm not going to slaughter the last name one more time. So, Bam, thank you for being here
You, Brian.
and doing this. And we are going to transition to doing some training that we like to end every show on. So, I found this article. Now, this might have been put out by Florida SBDC. But all but one little dot applies to here in Idaho. So Dave, let's go through these. Number one, understand what the government requires. The federal marketplace works like every market. You need to identify its needs, patterns, and shifts to predict government requirements. You got to understand what's all out there, and that's what BAM can help businesses with, right?
Amen. And if you don't take advantage of that, you're missing a golden opportunity to even find out if there's some pathways forward. And then the second thing is acquaint yourself with the rules. There are different government markets that work differently and have their own individual requirements. So what you need to do is prepare and familiarize yourself with what the agencies are looking for so that you can best posture yourself. Literally, you're marketing to the government, and This is how to do it.
Good. Yeah, you got to do this. And this is what BAM is here to help you with. Do research on the current contract and make sure that you can fulfill what is required to do on that contract. But once again, that's the kind of thing that BAM can help you with.
Yep. And then the next thing that they want to do is the event that we were just talking about that's coming up end of March.
End of March,
Yes,
30th and 31st.
Yep, is one of the key things that we recommend you go to. What a way to get your feet wet. Just go out there, get immersed. You get to rub shoulders with people. They got food.
Find out what's available.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
And then the next one, organization is the key to success. So once you figure out that it is, then you got to get yourself organized to go after it. And then the last one says take advantage of their, but really we're going to add in there, take advantage of the Idaho PTAC. And if you're question about it, you can find them at idahoptac.org. Is that right?
That's correct.
And look it up there, and you can request an appointment with BAM. Right on that site. So absolutely a great thing that you need to do. Now, if we could go to the second slide there. So I found this great video that was done by the state SBDC. Will Fowler, a genius that I say that works at our state office. He's the assistant state director for the SBDC. He did a 46-minute webinar. And here's the link to it. And if you want this link, put your email in there or email BAM and you can get this. But this is on the Idaho SBDC YouTube page. But it is a great 45-minute that goes into details of some of the things that we've talked about today of doing business with the government. And I wished our show was long enough that we could have shown this, but we highly encourage you to do this. Reach out to BAM and to get set up to learning what your business can do to do business with the government. So absolutely a great thing to do. So at the beginning of the show, we talked about that we were going to give away $50 off here. So for the first person, could you put my cell phone number up there or email me? We have a lot of people that watch this show after the fact, so they automatically think that maybe we've given it away. But if you want to text me, if you're watching this, if you want to tell me it earlier in the show, well, let's just make it simple. I said I'd been on vacation somewhere. Maybe the shirt will give it away. Where did I go? What island? Ooh, make it specific. What island did I go to? And if you can say that, you will be getting $50 certificate off the class, the Elevate Your Business class. So there it is right there. I've got it in my hand, and we will get it to you. You can get $50 off that workshop starting next Tuesday. So all you got to do is simply, what island did I go to? It was simple. And does the shirt give it away? A little bit, but we're not saying which island. So
he's got the name on the back of his shirt.
that's right. So anyway, we are excited. Thank you, Bam, again for being here. What an opportunity. We hope Idaho businesses will wake up and start participating with earning extra money for their business.
Yeah, and one of the big messages today is there's so many resources that don't cost a dime to help you move forward. And two of them are sitting right here, the SBDC and the PTAC program.
Yep, absolutely. Great things here. Look them up. Their contact information was there on the screen. And next week, I'm just waiting for confirmation on this one, but I think that he confirmed it last night. But it looks like we're going to have the mayor of Rexburg and Scott Johnson, the economic development from the city of Rexburg. Now, this guy is dynamic. He is unbelievable. I can't believe that he's been at this position down there. He's such a dynamic individual. So we're going to have Mayor Jerry Merrill and Scott Johnson on the show for next week. We're just waiting for confirmation. The mayor was on vacation this week, and said, but Scott last night said, I think he's going to be available next week. So yeah, that looks like we could have another rock and roll show next week.
I met with the mayor and with Scott Johnson last week for an hour and a half. Wow. Yeah. If you want to find out what's going on in the community, the growth that's happening, the types of things that are moving, what a great opportunity.
Yeah. They've got a great team. I've known the mayor up there since I was a little kid up there, but he's doing such a phenomenal job in the city of Rexburg. So excited. And then hopefully, sometime next month, we're looking to have the mayor of Idaho Falls and the new economic development person that they're going to be hiring. We tried to get them, but Dana Briggs, the economic development, decided to leave us in last month, and so we're waiting for her replacement, and then we'll try to get the Idaho Falls mayor on there as well. So, and we've also talked to Mayor Carroll out of Blackfoot. We're hoping to have him on, Mayor Blad possibly from Pocatello. These great organizations here throughout Eastern Idaho. We're excited to have them. So, thank you for tuning in to Talkin Business today, and we will look forward to seeing you in coming weeks. Again, thank you, Dr. Bam.
Thank you.
Thanks, everybody. That's right. I'll let you say it, Dave. Have a great week, everybody.
The most powerful and influential form of communication is the story. When you understand somebody's story, you understand them on a deeper level, and then they become unforgettable. They may not need your service now, but when they do, they're going to remember you because they remember your story. My name's Tyson, and at Newline, my mission is to make your business unforgettable. I spent time around a lot of businesses that I have been amazed by their culture. I've been amazed by how they do their job. And I thought, if only more people knew about this company. What would it be like if everybody within your audience had the opportunity to experience you, to experience what you do from the comforts of their own home where they don't feel like they're being sold to? I think what the coolest thing about video and marketing is that it provides sort of a proxy experience. Experience what it would be like to work with you. That's exactly what video can provide. I'm going to come in and sit down with you, and we're going to talk. We're going to collaborate. We're going to find out what's working for you, what's not working for you. And I'm going to take the things that's working for you, I'm going to make those things more accessible to more people in a more omnipresent space. Within the gears of a company, video has the potential to duplicate, automate, and replicate the fundamental elements, the fundamental drivers of your business, freeing you up so that you have more time that you can dedicate to things that are going to be more profitable for you. I think probably the biggest reason that people don't use video more, even though they know how well it works, is because stage fright. They hate being in front of the camera. So when I come to your office or you come into my studio, I try very hard to make the atmosphere lighthearted and humorous, and we're gonna get work done, but we're gonna have fun with it.
He's made it enjoyable. We've had a lot of laughs on set in the studio. We're not comfortable sitting in front of a camera, and he makes it easy to do that. He takes our mistakes and our fumbling around and turns it into something that is just incredible.
All I want to do is take your influence and share it with more people. That's what video is for. Video is the last piece of the puzzle, but it's all you. If you're ready to know how video can benefit your business, fill out the form, brag about yourself. If I think that I'm going to be the best fit for you and that I can help you, then I will reach out very quickly.